My name is Diego Hinojosa.
I'm Ty Hamilton.
And I'm Mia Davis.
And we're doing the dogfish shark dissection. Let's go, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay, so we have the dogfish shark here, and as you can see is that, unlike most other fish, is that dogfish, or sharks in general, are longer, their fins are a little bit pointier, and they are cartilage based. So we have the dorsal fin here, which is short. We have the second dorsal fin, caudal fin, which is the major force for pushing, swimming, you know, all that fancy stuff. This is the anal fin, because I wonder what's right there. The pectoral fin, which is for guiding, maneuvering, and otherwise than that, there seem to be no other fin structures, because most other like shark-like types will have another set of fins closer up, but because dogfish sharks aren't that big, they don't have it.
Alright, so then, if you notice, here's the, if you go from the head to the tail, it's smooth. If you go to the tail to the head, it's very rough. You can actually hear it, maybe not. The skin's actually made of micro teeth. They're very small teeth, and they're also hydrodynamic, which helps them maneuver through the ocean, the waves. And the eye, if you look at the eye, they're not very good at vision. Their vision's not very good. But because they can only.
Here we have the gills, and the dogfish, just like other sharks, have 5 gill slits, which help take in oxygen from the water. Here's the spiracle, which is a modified gill, and this helps, it's a site for the water intake for the dogfish.
Alright, so now looking at the teeth, this is the top layer right here, and the bottom layer right here. And since dogfish are smaller, they eat smaller fish. And once the food is ingested, it goes through the esophagus, which is right here. And it's a pathway from the pharynx to the stomach. Alright, so we're looking at the liver now. It has 3 lobes, 1, 2, and 3. Its main function is for buoyancy in the shark by storing oils. And it regulates the salinity levels in the blood of the shark.
By excreting different hormones throughout the shark.
Yes. And it also stores food molecules.
Which helps in digestion, as well as, you know, hormones regulate that as well. And sharks, of course, have a lot less lobes than we do, so it's a more simpler function than ours.
So under the stomach, you'll see the spleen, which is basically a blood reservoir. Okay, so this is the valvular intestine. Its main function is just to absorb nutrients and process the food from the stomach. Alright, so inside the intestines, this is the spiral valve, which helps in absorb the nutrients. Okay, so right here is the gallbladder. It stores bile that breaks down the fat that the shark ingested.
Okay, so this is the interbrachial system, and how it works is the spiracle takes in water through this little notch, which is the spiracle, and since water is harder to gain oxygen from, it's harder than air, what the shark does is take in the water into the gills, and the gills hold the water there, and the respiratory system of the shark allows for the shark to separate the oxygen from the gills and then push the water back outside of the gills.
Alright, so this is a female dogfish shark because normally male sharks will have penile structures that lead from these fins down and have 2 of them. And because that these are not present, we know that this is indeed a female. And then of course we have the vaginal opening, anus, all that good stuff. Ovaries, this is where the embryos are created when the sperm reaches to this point of the female shark. These ovaries then go down through the oviduct, which come into the uterus, where they will grow until they are adults, well, not adult size, but enough to be born, which then they come out of the cloaca, which is right over here.
These are the kidneys, and they help regulate the salinity levels within the shark, as well as secrete urine from the cloaca. Another function of the cloaca is to get rid of the sodium chloride sent from the rectal gland Another function of the cloaca is for storage of the pups, which helps during delivery, and the pups just come out through the cloaca. Another function of the cloaca is for the insertion of the sperm from the male dogfish.
The heart of the shark, it is very small for its actual size, but of course what it always does for animals is that it pumps the blood throughout the body. This is the first main atrium, this is the right ventricle, the left ventricle, and the back ventricle is actually not visible, but it's towards the back. But unlike some other fish, but like our hearts, it has 4 chambers total. So here we have the shark head. Normally up here is that we have the brain in the back section. The 4 brains connect to the eyes and toward the front of the nose, right about here. Underneath here is that if you can, it's kind of hard to see, but there are small little gel-like pores on the bottom of a shark's nose called the ampullae of Lorenzini. These little gel-filled holes can sense electrical signals throughout the water to help detect prey, predators, so on and so forth. And those connect to little nodes that lead up to the brain. Another thing is that sharks don't have ears, but they have small little pores on the top of their head that lead to inner ears. Brain of the dogfish shark. This is the main cerebellum. This is the visionary or optical lobe, and then this leads to the olfactory. This is the olfactory lobe. So the thing about a shark's brain is that when it stems out, is that it connects to all these little sensors that lead to the ampullae of Lorenzini, which help detect all the electrical signals as well as give feedback to the shark about what's there, what's not, so on and so forth, as well as these connect to the hearing nodes at the inner ears of the shark.